Welcome to Kawayan Cafe, where every sip serves a tale and every tale weaves the bamboo heartbeat of the Philippines. This is Rika, your host. Dive in as we unfold the lush stories and sustainable trails of our beloved bamboo landscapes. Hi, welcome back to Kawayan Cafe. It's been a long time, so happy new year, everybody. For our first podcast this 2024, we are kicking off 2024 with our first Bamboo Bootcamp coming up in Davao this February 22nd to March 3rd at Hayag Farm School. So, to get everybody excited about this upcoming bootcamp and probably inviting you all to come and join us, I have a very special guest for today's show. His name is Ewe Jin Low. He's actually one of my bamboo mentors, the very one of the first teachers I've had in bamboo. So you're coming to Davao soon. We're really excited to have you here. I can't believe, I'm starstruck. I can't even believe I can get you to come.
No, I think a lot of it is from your influence. I can see that you guys have built up a good track record in the 3 years. Your reach is widening, and it is time. After a few tries, it's now time for me to be there to finally see what has been done and to jump in and see how I can impart as well.
Cool. I'm so excited to finally meet you face to face in the flesh. So, for the sake of our viewers, could you briefly introduce yourself and share how you have become so passionate about bamboo?
Yeah, it all started with me accepting a job, right? I was a conventional architect for many, many years, and I accepted a job in Bali with Ibuku as lead architect. And from there, we transferred. We were in Melbourne. My wife and I then transitioned to Bali to live in Bali, right? We left the kids behind, left the house behind, the dog, and said, "There you go." And we left. We ran away to Bali for about 6 7 years. We lived there 6 7 years. That's what started it off. It was just a job at first, and then eventually you could feel that the bamboo virus was becoming stronger and stronger. And I think short answer is, yeah, that role and the experience not only changed my career but also changed my life passage, right? And ideas as well.
So you were hired as the lead architect, but like were you already working with bamboo by that time? How did you
I
even learn about it?
one of the there were a few things that got me the job, right? That a lot of people applied for it and a lot of interviews. I went through 6 interviews before I got it, right? And one of the interviews was even with the staff that I was going to run, right? But the one of the funny things that probably got me the job was that I played with bamboo when I was young, in Malaysia. I made bows and arrows. I made kites. I got cut. I got caned playing near the bamboo because I played too long, right? That almost helped me get the job, not because of my skill in bamboo, right? In bamboo design, nothing about that. Um, my experience as an architect, all around experience internationally, also helped me to get a job, right? Because they wanted someone that could interact between the clients, the workers, the designers, and also the principal, Elora.
So basically, you learned about bamboo after your extensive knowledge of bamboo came about after you already got the job.
Yeah. One of the other reasons was that I came from an Asian country. I could speak the language, right? The Bahasa Indonesia, Bahasa Malaysia is similar. I could speak, so I could communicate, and I could be this intermediary that was needed to bring them up for that next level, right? Expand the team. So learning on the job, man, learning on the job, right?
That's so cool. I mean, I
It
always
is.
say you're only gonna learn if you do it, right?
Yeah, and one of the tests was when I arrived was Elora saying, "Come with me to site, go to site." She climbs up 3 stories and then looks at me like that. And then I said, okay, this is my move. I climb up, right? If I stayed down there and let her do her thing, yeah,
Nice.
yeah. So yeah.
Okay, well, that's great because we have a lot of architects that feel that, by the time they get the job, they have to be masters at bamboo already. So I think, pure guts can get you there.
Well, I think the attitude for people coming in, right, enthusiasts and architects who want to get into bamboo is not about like, oh, I have to know so much before I can start designing, but it is about resetting. I've always said that it's resetting your mind to let bamboo come into your language, into your design language, into your overall language. I'm learning even today. Everyone is learning, right? People with 20 years experience still learning about bamboo. Um, so there's a lot to learn, but I think the bamboo world is small enough that we have enough resources to share and to encourage one another if you get to the right people. Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
yeah, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid
uh,
to learn. Don't be afraid to think, oh, I cannot specify bamboo because I don't know. It's more like, hey, who can help me and work and get this through? In the Philippines, it's already happening. That was one of the reasons why I wanted to go to boot camp because I can see this inertia over the last 5 years, right? From little steps, now everyone is shouting about it. So it's this thing that's climbing up. I can see that inertia.
good. I love that. I love hearing about that too. So now we're talking about guts, inspiration, and creativity. So, and you learning on the job. So how has working with bamboo influence your approach to architecture and design? Do you have
Oh,
anything story to tell?
yeah, a lot of it was learning and looking at the workers, how the Balinese part of bamboo, bamboo is like Bali and Bali is like bamboo, right? And then it goes through the whole culture. You see it embedded throughout the culture and through its history. So
Yes.
bamboo is everywhere.
Yes.
Um, when you get into working there and with the workers, you experience it and you know everything has to tie in. Um, to make bamboo work, to design good buildings, I always say you need that infrastructure. That 6, 7 steps, 8 steps must always be there, right? To make it successful. There are pioneers who have to make these steps themselves, like yourselves. You make those steps. You probably made 4
Yeah.
steps because you only had 2, right? And we are the pioneers. We are making these steps. This is our sacrifice for the bamboo future. Um, so for successful product, yes, project 7 steps. So if you are a go-getter, you make your own steps like you guys.
Oh, yeah.
So that and also working in silos, right? This thing I talk about is yeah, in timber, in concrete, in steel, you have to wait for your master to die before you learn about it or before he hands it over to you, right? You might never learn some of his skills. And everyone works in silos, right? The bamboo builder doesn't want to tell you how he does this joint, right? The sub supervisor won't give you a sheet to say, how do I start a project on site? Can you show me? He said, no, if you employ me.
Yeah.
We cannot work like that.
Gatekeep-
We
Gatekeeping.
cannot. Yeah,
Yes.
everyone works in their own silo. No, we have to break down the silo and move up fast. Then we'll move up faster than these industries, timber industries, steel industries took hundreds and hundreds of years to grow. We want to grow in 50 years, right?
Yeah. We
What
just
they
need
did
the
in a few
supply.
hundred years. Yeah. So yeah, I mean running around. My answer is running around, but never mind.
But so have you been able to, now that I know you've been coming back and forth to the Philippines, have you been able to work with our Filipino workers?
Yeah. I'm now starting to complete this month. I completed 2 bamboo projects, right? And then we are working on another 2 or 3 more in design stage. So yeah, interaction with not only workers but bamboo harvesters, bamboo treatment and producers, bamboo builders, and bamboo designers. So I'm sort of slightly embedded now in the Philippines. I think I'll continue to go. In fact, I'm going in a couple of weeks, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, going to look at the completed projects and starting other projects, some
So,
big ones as well.
you know,
So
you worked in Bali and you've been working with the Balinese artisans, bamboo artisans, and you've been working with, now that you've been coming to the Philippines, how far along are the Filipino workers to where the Balinese are? Like, give me a range, 10 years, 5 years, how far? Because last year we felt like maybe 20 years delayed.
I think um, I think the measuring stick is different. The Balinese have had a very big start, and it's in their blood, right? People have cut off fingers and whatever to learn how to do this through the years, right?
Yeah,
Their grandfather, their whatever, they've gone through it and they developed this dance, this special dance that they do to produce these buildings.
yeah,
You could say sinuous, leaf-shaped, curved, wow buildings, right? For what they are. So Balinese are Balinese, well known throughout the world. For me, I take it that I learned this form of dance, but for the Filipinos, the dance is different for me. I think the dance can be our own, I say our, your own better dance, right? More efficient dance and to suit your culture, many ways, many ways. You can only start one way. I think one way is really not to try to emulate too much of what others do. Making curves and all that may not necessarily be what we want to do. For me, how I want to push is to say, learn about building bamboo efficiently, safely, and well, design it well by simplifying, by creating the access first, the access to good bamboo, to good design, to good builders, right? Starting from scratch, showing people they can build, not building your Sharma Springs first. That doesn't come, right? You will not have your Sharma Springs, but you have your own version of Sharma Springs that will come in 3 years' time, I predict, right? Maybe two. But in terms of progression, the passion is what I see in your people, the passion. Not there in Thailand, not there in Malaysia as heavily as what it is in the Philippines, right? The passion to move and the guts is there. It's there. So that's wow, super exciting for me, right? And that's why I'm embedding and engaging.
and super
Um,
exciting for me too, because I get to pick your brain for a few days. Because this is always what we are asked, like, how do I, so a lot of our participants would ask, how do I teach this to our local craftsmen? How do I inspire them? How do I motivate them? And we can only tell the way that we've done it, and we've made a lot of mistakes, and we are not quite sure which things we've been doing were mistakes. So, because we're all fairly new. I mean, I only learned about bamboo 4 years ago, and then I started
mm,
doing something 3 years ago. So we're like babies, right? So
we are, we all are, we all are.
yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just nice to have somebody to bounce ideas off of and like ask questions based on, because obviously your experience is a lot wider, and now that you've experienced the Filipino workforce, and we only have our workforce, we have not tried any other workforces, so it's
Mm.
something that we really can't generalize, but I'm sure you'll be sharing some tips and tricks so that we can learn some of that.
I'm at a stage where I don't have to prove myself. I'm supposed to be retired and live on a boat and go fishing every day. But I think this thing drives me to contribute where I can nicely. So that agenda motivates me and it sort of places me on the right track. Right. It helps because I'm not saying, I need to make money to survive
Yeah.
every day to find food for the family to pay my mortgage. But it's different. Now I need to find an area, a country, or a region where something I do, I can see the results, right, for the bamboo world. That that drives me. That drives me. So there you go.
Welcome. Well, I'm so happy that chosen the Philippines. We need it.
Well,
I
I think yeah, it's ripe. It's ripe for it. Other countries are coming up, but you guys are well ahead, and motoring, right? The inertia is sort of there already, there already. So
Oh, thank you.
uh,
That's nice to hear.
it's a lot of effort, and also I think all the legends that you mentioned, all the ones that have been trying like crazy for the last 20 years to bring it up, have also started to see it. I think that's why they're also getting excited, right? They're like, wow,
Yeah, I'm so
yeah.
excited. I mean, it's just a bunch of crazy kids that got bamboo crazy. And now
Hmm.
like it's a movement, right? I mean, we always said from the beginning that the Bamboo Bootcamp was gonna be a movement, and we're excited of, seeing its growth and just getting everybody motivated and inspired. And I think it's important that we have to keep the fire burning, right? And these new builds definitely help.
Yeah, I think producing good graduates as well. Like, you never imagine Jet at Bamboo U,
Yeah.
right? First Bamboo U that we were in, and he was there, and then you never imagine that he'll turn out to be to what it is now today, right? After how many
Yeah.
years?
And you know what, Yui, I studied with Jed on his third workshop, I think, and he will tell you when you meet him that I was his worst student. Like I never listened. So
Yeah,
we
I mean,
really we
yeah,
cannot tell.
you cannot tell, and yeah, but people progress, so you guys have progressed well.
Oh, thanks. So, you know what? I'm going to fast forward to the last question. I want people to get excited to see you and meet you and ask you questions. So, with the upcoming boot camp, which you'll be there for, how do you envision inspiring our participants about the potential of bamboo, not only in architecture, but now you're talking about like empowering a whole group of people as artisans or workers and all sorts of bamboo enthusiasts?
Yeah, it is a tough ask. Um, I think what I will talk about is part of it is the infrastructure, how to build up the first few stages, and then also concentrate a bit more about for architects and designers how to really design, uh, so that people can see the design and say, yeah, I can build this, right? Instead of looking at the design and saying, "Oh my goodness, how am I going to do this?" Right? My workers are all timber workers or steel workers or concrete. How am I going to do this? So yeah, adding some common sense and simplicity into the designs, which doesn't mean that they are going to be square boxes, right? It can be really nice.
Yeah,
But using modularity, using prefabrication, simple joints, that anyone can do, even a part-timer, right, can do. You can work a drill, you can look straight, you can hold a knife, it's okay, done. You may not even know how to do a fish mouth to build one of these buildings, right? It, it's simple. So I'm starting on that level first. And then you increase incrementally, right? Start with a small project and then slowly build up, right? I'll show some of my projects as well. Um, we are trying to write a book on bamboo prefabrication. So I'll talk a bit about that.
yeah, I love that.
And
I think that
yeah, there are many areas of which we can share our knowledge in bamboo. There are not many. Not yesterday, last week, someone was talking about, have you got a manual to tell me how to build, right? This guy in Thailand, he's a developer. How do you do the foundations? How do you do this? I'm already starting work. I said, whoa. I said, wait, another 2 years, my manual is coming out. Then I have to quickly make something for him so that he can start. There's nothing like that, right? There's no manual that people can buy or refer to and say, oh, this is how I built, right? Simply. Nobody is sharing it out there yet. So, a
yeah,
lot is still missing in the bamboo world.
yeah, yeah, I know. And we're hoping that, like for us, we give everything away, right? Everything that we learn. It's just a matter of actually sitting down and organizing all the content, right? Like that's really the time consuming part. How do you actually curate everything and condense it so it becomes simple. Like we want to simplify it because obviously we cannot serve every single person, right? I mean, there's just not enough um teams of builders, architects, structural engineers, and that's why Jed, Kevin, and I were sitting and saying, okay, how do we simplify it? And I'm excited to actually get some tips and pointers for you because obviously, we're a little bit ambitious in our builds because we're the pioneers. Like we have to show something because if it's just like maybe they won't get as excited. So it has to be like you only have one opportunity to shock people. And so far we've been kind of successful at it because we've been ambitious. Like nobody we wanted to do something that that has never been done. But we're also at the point now, okay, now people are intimidated because they think they got to get there fast. And so it's kind of bridging that gap now that we need to address, right?
Yeah, yeah. Start. Now you have sort of come back down and start growing these stages. If you can show me, if the sign of success is when you want to bid for a job and there are three builders bidding for it.
Yes.
Okay, that's the sign of success. If you have only one builder and one half builder, you're not successful yet.
Three builders bidding for it, and all
Bidding for one job,
bidding
right?
for it,
If
and
you
all of them were
eh,
Bamboo Bootcamp graduates. Hopefully.
whatever, doesn't matter. Doesn't
Yes.
matter, right? But if you only have one and one half
Yeah.
builder, then
Yeah.
you're not successful. You're not there yet.
Yes.
Whereas in Bali, now they have three of them, four of them bidding for it, right? If it's a nice job, they're like, yeah, I'll show you what I've done.
Cool. Well, I'm looking forward to having you, and definitely, I said 10 minutes. I'm sorry, this is turning to be a 30-minute talk because, when it comes
That's
to bamboo, I lose track of time.
that's fine. It's fine. Good to enjoy.
Yeah. So, Iwi Jin, thank you so much for your time. I look forward to having you again or now in person. I can't believe it. Like, I think Jed is also going to be starstruck again, but he can't believe, like, when I told him about you coming, he was looking at me like I was joking. And I said, I'm serious. And he said, oh my God, that's crazy. So I think he's getting pitter patter as well.
It'll be fun. It'll be fun, and we can have some powwow time. Hopefully, find some time beside the rest of the things to have
Oh
chats as
yeah.
well.
Yes, of course. We're gonna have some. You're gonna be staying in the middle of the forest with no internet.
Yes, that's what we do in Bali.
So hopefully we'll have some really good quality time to chat. Well, thank you again, Imogen. Thank you for joining us on Kawayan Cafe. Let's not just admire bamboo, let's live it. Remember to subscribe, spread the word, and leave us some insights. Till next time, Bamboo High.